All right, what's happening, folks out there? Thank you for listening to the Game and Watch podcast. This is episode number 64. I'm going to be your host for today, Justin, aka Too Tall for You Fool. I am joined by my fellow gaming colleagues today. First, we got Logan, who's back with us.
Hello.
We got Mr. Matt in the house.
Mr. Matt.
Mr.
Okay,
Matt.
official. Yeah.
And then Mr.
Gentlemen.
Mark. And then Mr. Mark, aka Mr. Madness.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I feel like there's a bit of brand clashing going on there. I think you need to remove the Mr. Study suit.
I got that first. Thank you.
Yeah.
Proof, evidence.
All right. Yeah, definitely. I'll remember that for next time. All right. So today on the show, we are going to be talking about the Game Award nominations. And we'll also be talking about some Black Friday deals that are coming up this week. But just a reminder before we go any further that the Game & Watch podcast is an OVG or RView gaming production. Definitely support us on all our streaming platforms, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook Live. And we are also listenable on across very many different platforms, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, you name it, we're on there. So definitely support the podcast, share it around with your friends, your family, all that sort of stuff. All right. So before we get into our first topic, how y'all doing? How's y'all's week been?
Yeah. Pretty good. Yeah. It's been...
Can't complain. I'm ready for a nice long break so I can play some games. Here in the States, we've got Thanksgiving, so.
Oh, yes, Thanksgiving. Yes, this is definitely going to be a feast, and I'll be trying to go out to the stores to try to score on some Black Friday deals, which we'll talk about a little later on in the show.
Yeah, help me out here, guys. Is Black Friday and Thanksgiving, you obviously go out and buy a bunch of stuff, but is there any gift exchange or giving amongst family, or do you just eat till you pass out?
On Thanksgiving, there's no gifting. I mean,
yeah, there's no gifts.
No gifting at all. Just you pretty much eat till you pass out. At least.
Eat a bunch of food, you watch football, you pass out, you wake up, you watch more football, eat again,
and
then you go shopping. That's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, basically, and arguing too. There's lots of arguments.
Yeah, arguing's gotten worse in recent years.
And then, of course, playing board games with family members. Maybe some you want to play, maybe some you don't want to play. But, definitely the time of year where you see relatives that you don't see every day. So, I mean, I'm excited, especially since, this whole pandemic. I recently, bought a new home, and we haven't really had any parties here for both our families. So, I'm excited to see people just come over for Thanksgiving, just conversate with them, let them know what's going to be going on with me and everything. So, yeah, it's always good to just see the loved ones where you can. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, sounds good. I was just curious because we always get the hyperbole and the kind of transformed version of whatever Thanksgiving is in television and stuff, or whatever comes through from America, but it's always the taken to the extreme. But sounds like it's exactly as you described, the
pretty much
capitalist utopia that America represents.
Oh, yeah. Utopia!
Shots fired.
Utopia is a bit much, just a bit.
Yeah, well, maybe just a little. Yeah. All right, so let's get into our first topic of the day. This is a topic I really don't want to talk about again, but the company addressed it, so I figured we would discuss it once again. but Rockstar Games has apologized for the brokenness that is the trilogy. The title's just too long. I'm not even gonna say the whole title. Just we'll just call it the trilogy: GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. With the glitches and everything, they said that they are going to work on it, obviously. And then if you already have it, if you have the old ones, they'll give you, I guess, these ones at no charge if you have it on PC. And it's just a broken mess. I mean, they do need to fix it, but I mean, at the same time, I just don't. This was just like a quick cash grab, in my opinion. They just wanted to put something out before the holidays, make some money, and then maybe just hold off a little more before they officially announce GTA 6.
Well, they're doing all they can to distance themselves from the people that ported into that definitive edition, right? It wasn't Rockstar; it was another studio that was doing it. I can't recall their name now, but
I think it's
they're kind of pushing it on them a little bit. And in addition to trying to placate everybody, as you say, it's probably going to be in anticipation of that new GTA 6 announcement, which, in the wake of things at the moment, which we'll get to a bit more in the news later on, it's unlikely that we'll be seeing it for a long time. But this kind of stuff sticks, especially in a post-cyberpunk world.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been working and making Cyberpunk at least, more to what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Grand Theft Auto, what are they going to do? They're not going to improve the character models, and I think that's the biggest complaint. You're not going to improve the character models that much. So, like, really, what are you going to get out of it?
I think it's got to be that attention. Like they've just cast a refinement algorithm across all three of the games, and then they obviously didn't go in there for the individual, the good stuff that you really want to fix up. Like I think I shared a screenshot with you guys from somebody online of a donut shop that was called
I saw that.
Donuts and Nuts or something. And the donut was incredibly smooth compared to the old one. But so was the nut, unfortunately. Right. That had been picked up completely smooth around the outside. So I think they didn't have enough scope to zero in and sniper those things that, the internet picks up on, because the collective minds of millions of people is going to be far more powerful than a 10
Basically,
people.
what I read was they actually took like the mobile versions of these games and slapped it into Unreal Engine 4, and then like used AI to upscale the textures and did a little tweaking on some of the textures, which just sounds lazy to me.
Yeah, it sounds like it could have been put together a lot better.
I feel like if they had put the time and attention into detail and doing like a real actual remake or remaster, a lot more people would have bought it. And instead, you screwed a lot of people over and you've hurt your sales.
And that's the funny thing too. Like when you say it like that, they could very easily have re-released each of those games across like 3 years.
Yeah.
And
it's weird that they did them. Yeah, it's weird that they did it in a pack, because like if they're going for money, releasing them all individually would be way better.
Yeah,
but dedicate the time to it.
Yeah, they probably could have made a lot more money if they just did it all over time. Just focus on one game, then focus on the next game, and then focus on the next game. That I think would have been a bit better, especially if Rockstar was going to outsource, another company to, work on these remasters. I was looking forward to it because I've played these games, but I've never owned any of these games. So I was looking forward to just getting the physical copy that was coming out next month. Not doing it now.
The game has pretty much caused Take-Two's stock to drop single-handedly, like by $20, like 5%. So what have you done here? You haven't pleased anybody, and to me, it's just a waste. It's on Game Pass. I won't even bother.
Is it free on Game Pass?
San Andreas is free on Game Pass.
All right, yeah. It's on you if you want to play it. Me personally, if I see something later on down the line that looks like the game is improved, and if it has 4 or 5 stars, I'll pick it up definitely. But anyway, So if anyone who did buy that trilogy, I'm sorry, especially if you bought it like on the Nintendo Switch, because I mean this was his first time on a Nintendo console, and it yeah, because it had never been on. Yeah, it's only been on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Yeah, never been on Nintendo. So yeah, I mean,
But at least they're doing the right thing.
yeah,
They're what the what they seem to be doing is saying if you've bought the definitive version, they're going to bring back the old versions of the games and offer them
yeah,
to you for free
yeah.
until
Yeah,
they
so
can
you can
I
fix the
like
mod them
that.
and
garbage.
actually play them.
Yeah, I mean, I
Well,
would.
yeah, that's the thing. The
Yeah,
things, what invariably happens when this stuff happens is the modders come out of the woodwork and they start doing their stuff and invariably make a better game, a better definitive edition than Rockstar could have possibly released. So,
I mean, yeah, you got to worry about the piracy too. I would think like, hey, screw it, I'll just pirate the old game and get it with mods,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. True that for
Yeah.
sure. All right, so a couple episodes back, I forget which episode exactly. We were talking about our matches of Bugs Bunny versus Batman mixed with a little bit of Game of Thrones, and Scooby Doo, Tom and Jerry. Well, apparently the rumors are true. There is going to be a MultiVersus game by Warner Brothers. They announced it, and just it's going to have a lot of characters from the whole Warner Brothers realm, from Scooby Doo to Tom and Jerry, Finn and Jake. Uh, so let's see, Batman, of course, Harley Quinn. So this and looks like this game is going to be free to play, um, with support on all consoles and PC, but not
let's
the
be honest though,
Switch.
who was going to pay for it? I don't think many would.
I think
I
Mr.
think
Madness
people.
was.
I
I
think
think the same people that would pay for the
I'd
Nickelodeon one would pay for this one. Like, come on.
rather pay for this one than the Nickelodeon one.
Yeah,
The Nickelodeon one
same.
looks like garbage, man. I mean,
I think people would buy this game. You never know. But my question is, okay, it's free to play, but it's not. Nothing is ever free to play. Like, where is the actual cost going to come in? Do I have to buy each individual character? Like, how they haven't announced how that's going to work.
was it
Yeah.
microtransactions?
Yeah.
Like different
They're gonna make
costumes
their
and stuff.
yeah. They're
I
gonna
don't
mean,
know.
make
it
their
could
money.
work.
They're gonna make their money.
Yeah. You could
Yeah,
probably
I'd say it's
unlock
gonna
them and
be
then you just like pay to get all of them, right?
Eventually, I think that's how it would come. But I'm a little weirded out that there's no Switch version, because it is going to be cross-platform. But yeah, just you figure a free-to-play game like this, like you think it would be coming to Switch, but
Switch can't handle it.
I guess they can't. Who knows? I mean,
Yeah, probably not. Oh,
oh, here's a preview right there. Oh, yeah, there's Batman, there's Harley Quinn, there's Bugs
That looks
Bunny.
exactly like Super Smash Brothers right there. Like it looks like somebody took Super Smash Brothers and just modded these characters in it.
yeah.
That is at least that level.
Yeah, for those of you that are listening, we're watching a little trailer of the game of MultiVersus, and looks pretty cool. I mean, I'll give it a try. I mean, it's free. I mean, I
Yeah.
say
If
why
it's free,
not?
I'll play it.
Like I said, it's like we said, it's better than that Nickelodeon game, and that game looks like
Well,
garbage.
it's got more characters to get through, and it has like the actual voice cast people that do the voices in the cartoons and stuff are doing the voices for this game.
Yeah, like
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, like
Honestly, though, like,
mhm.
I mean, if you're not gonna play like actual Smash Bros, like if you're on a computer or something, just play Brawlhalla. It's free to play and it's actually good. I mean, I understand like the draw for like the characters for this one at least, but like if you're paying for it, like with the Nickelodeon one, I don't see the point. Or at least for me, ugh.
Yeah, well, it looks like to touch on what you were saying, Madness. Kevin Conroy is on to voice Batman. Tara Strong, Harley Quinn, Matthew Lillard, who's played Shaggy in the past, will voice Shaggy. So Don DiMaggio as Jake the dog. So yeah, we got a lot of big time voice actors coming in to play some of these characters. Uh, yeah, so
I
yeah,
don't know
just
much about the developer Player First Games, so I don't know if they've actually done anything before. So it's hard to get a
That's-
feel for it.
It'd be like getting a Marvel license, though, right? They've got all these different IP that they're bringing into one place. It's
Well,
going
Warner
to
Brothers owns a ton of stuff, so
Yeah,
well, there's game
its
tie-ins
library
too.
is huge. Just
We could see Shadow of Mordor
or
thing. We could see Mad
or
Max. We could see a bunch of WB
we could
games
see
making their way in there.
we could say, I mean, if we're thinking about, if you want to guess on characters that they could add to this game, Animaniacs, Yakko, Wacko, and Dot.
I mean,
That would
just
be
any Looney Tunes, anybody from DC, anybody from Cartoon Network shows.
yeah.
You know,
Johnny Bravo. I mean, the Powerpuff Girls. I mean, yeah.
Rick and Morty. You know, it's so many people.
Jabberjaw. You want to go that old in terms of cartoons? Y'all
We've also got
Jabberjaw.
Arya Stark from Game of Thrones in there too. Like that just
Yeah.
cracks the world open.
Of all the Game of Thrones people in there, like Arya Stark is like the weirdest one, I think, to go with the first character.
I'd say Maisie Williams was very easy to get for the voice acting.
Probably.
For it, I think. She does a lot of voice acting work, as far as I understand. So,
it looks like this is the studio's first game.
Yeah, maybe that's why it's free. Maybe that's why it's free to play. Maybe they will get like a deluxe version later on, and maybe they'll get it to run on everything, including the Switch. So, I mean,
this is going to be a live service kind of thing. I think they're just going to try and make it last as long as they can. Get a massive character roster over time. Keep bringing people back when new characters pop in. WB announces a show, and all of a sudden there's a new character partnered in this game as well. It's just going to be one of these games that hangs around for the next 6 years. They want to Fortnite it.
Yeah.
Well, if it's good, it has to be good
if it's
first.
good, yeah, they'll definitely try to Fortnite it. Definitely, man. Of course, you'll see, tournaments and that all that stuff come to fruition.
The game has to be at least somewhat good, though.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It has to be there has to be skill. Right?
It has to be played right. It has to be somewhat good.
I mean, like I said, I'll definitely give it a try.
Well, they'll have a smaller character roster just so that they can focus on the actual gameplay. Because as soon as you start bringing in 30 to 40 different characters with different abilities, it becomes about blending it all together. And then there's metas and, people figuring out the best combination for these different things. But then you got the people who roll up for the laughs. Like they've specifically mentioned the Ultra Instinct Shaggy in the article that we're referring to here as well.
Yeah. Well, that's what weirds me out. I mean, I've watched, Scooby-Doo for years, and it's like, what powers does Shaggy have? You mean the ability to eat you or run away or something? Like, the guy's a coward. So it's like,
he's just so mellow. He is super powerful. I don't know.
But I mean,
he's actually secretly super powerful. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, remember, Super Smash Bros. Only started with 12 characters. So, I mean, I think starting small and then working your way up. I mean, you don't want to go out the gate with like 30 to 40 different characters and then it'd be a broken ass game. And I think that's one of the problems the Nickelodeon game's facing right now. Just Michelangelo's OP'd, and it's just the gameplay from that game, in my opinion, just really, really sucks. So, I mean,
didn't realize.
Yeah. So definitely. So moving on to our next topic. Looks like how February was going to be a flooded month of a bunch of different video games coming out here and there. February was going to break our wallets, people. Not this December, but February. Well, I guess one of those games is being moved from February to August, and that is one of the games I was going to buy in February, Saints Row. It is being delayed until August of 2022, so that's 6 months. And yeah, that I mean, I think it's a smart move. I mean, if you're delaying a game 6 months, let's definitely not have a broken mess like Cyberpunk or or the GTA trilogy, even though that was a remaster. But yeah, we are trying to avoid like any broken messes or anything like that. And just they say they want to put out a better game, and hey, if they need 6 more months to do it, I'm all for it. What are y'all's thoughts on Saints Row being delayed? Besides, saving the money in your wallet.
August is a great time to release a game like that because the only competition you have is Madden.
Yeah, and they could beat Madden if it's trying to go up for sales, definitely. So that could be another reason why they delayed it too. It's just they saw all these games coming out in February, and just like let's get our own time to shine. So that's one thing you could consider.
But they've been quite upfront with the reasoning around it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they said that they've got a vision that they want the game to be the best thing that it's going to be, everything that they've promised, but just that working from home has delayed things a bit. So I think they're setting very reasonable expectations with this delay in order to deliver what they wanted to. I think they've been
I
very
think it's a good
upfront
thing.
about it. Yeah.
Have you all
As
seen
opposed to
any-
the Cyberpunk, which I need to say, it's actually a great game. Like we keep talking about Cyberpunk in the wake of the business practices and the release of the game. Actual Cyberpunk is really good, so give it a go.
I feel like it
for
was
sure.
released because they promised it was going to come out, and it really could have used another 6 months.
Yep. But also we'd been waiting for it for 7 years. But anyway, not to get too far off track.
I mean, I don't think people have been waiting that long for Saints Row. It's you know what to expect from Saints Row. They unlike Grand Theft Auto style game, and unlike Grand Theft Auto, they're going to take the time and give it 6 more months. That maybe the Grand Theft Auto thing really scared them. You don't know.
Could be they saw that nice, gathering of games in that month, and they thought, let's give it half a year.
Yeah,
Get
and
our
then
own
you got
slot.
Dying Light 2 is coming out. Horizon Forbidden West,
Yeah,
and
Forbidden
Elden
West.
Ring.
Elden Ring coming out. Yeah. I don't think they were going to do very well sales-wise with that roster of games coming out. I could be wrong. I mean, it was my first choice, but yeah, it was competing with a lot of other games that month. So I think that's saving them a bit. I mean, like you said, August is what, Madden?
August is the dead month. Always has been. When I worked at GameStop, August, nothing ever came out in August. Madden was it. Nobody ever even wanted to counter program against it. People are coming in for Madden, so maybe they should release something else too. They didn't even bother. And Madden's not what it was.
Yeah, Madden hasn't been doing very well lately. It's yeah. I mean, that compared to NBA 2K, 2K is definitely higher rated than Madden these days.
Right. But it's still the only major game that seems to come out in August.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, that definitely. I mean, yeah, but yeah, Saints Row being delayed, so that's I think it's a good thing. I mean, I'm a Saints Row fan. I played all of them but the first one, and that's because I didn't have an Xbox. But for the most part,
well, the first one is like the most realistic one.
Yeah,
it just got progressively weirder and weirder, and that's what I liked about it.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely put its own spin on the whole like GTA style of games, which is what I like about it. But I mean, I've seen gameplay. I don't know if you guys seen it, but I've seen gameplay of what they've been working on so far, and so far so good. I mean, it looks like there are going to be some Easter eggs here and there. So I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to it. But I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, next August when that comes around, when I pick up the game, I'll definitely share it with you guys.
If it can be as solemn and as serious and yet kind of cheeky, I think they've done their job right.
All right. So what do you guys think of a console putting out games years after the console's no longer in production? Like we've seen it like time and time again, like with say Sega, and they're putting out Mega Man and the Wily Wars. The Wily Wars, as you guys know, it was part of the Sega channel, but we never got a physical copy here in the States. It was available in the PAL region, however. And then you got Super Nintendo and Star Fox 2, which that never released, even though it was digital. For the most part. I mean, you get repro cards here and there, but it looks like Atari is putting out a trio of games: Aqua Venture, Saboteur, and Yars Return. Will be available on Atari 2600 cartridges and come in beautiful 80s styles packaging. So for the standard editions for each of these games, it will be $50, or if you want to go super fancy, $150 for the limited edition.
They're targeting collectors, absolutely.
Yeah,
It must be because you get a poster, you get the booklet, you get.
They'll probably never play these games. It'll just sit real nice on their shelf. You'll get it graded. It'll sit real nice there, and it'll look pretty, and it's nice 1980 style box. If they sell they sell all the 1,983 copies of each.
Mm-hmm.
If they sell each one at 150, that's almost $1 million.
Yeah,
nothing really.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for one of these collection houses to be like to try to sell these for like auction it off for like $1 million or something within the next 5 years or so.
I just don't see a lot of people playing these games, like actually getting it out and playing them.
No,
I don't think they're meant to be played. I mean, like if you're producing less than 2,000 copies, I mean, there's no way.
That's only the $150 limited edition one. The regular $50 one is just a standard cartridge.
Yeah.
Oh, how many people even own these consoles that still work?
You would be actually, you know what?
There's not a lot going on with an Atari 2600. It's really basic. It's not like they still work because they were designed to last a long time, and as long as you kept up with it, they still work.
Okay. So you answered that question there for me, Madness. Yeah, they work. So I mean, in terms of finding some in the wild, I'm sure you can find some. You might come across some that are broken.
It might work on like the Repro, the all-in-one because Retrons. I think they have it. They might work on that, or they did release an Atari one where you could use your own games in it too. I believe a couple years ago. Atari VCS, I think it was called.
Yeah, the Atari VCS. Oh yeah, wait, the Atari VCS that can play original cartridges. I don't remember if it could or couldn't.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. All right, folks.
I don't have one, so
yeah, I don't have one, and I don't plan on getting one. But yeah, Atari was a little bit before my time when it comes to video games. But for you collectors and Atari fans out there, they are taking pre-orders right now, and December 10th, they should start shipping them. You should have them before Christmas. They are limited edition, so I mean, less than 2,000 copies. They are expected to sell fast. So if you want to get them, I would jump on them ASAP.
ASAP. Just to bring up another point, you mentioned like how long has it been since you've released a new game for an old system?
Mm-hmm.
And my first thought when anybody brings that up is Sega Master System. They were making games for Brazil until 1999. Brand new games.
Wow.
Which is crazy to think about because Master System, Dreamcast was out at that point.
Yeah.
But they were still making Brazil for whatever reason loves Sega Master System. And they got some wild games on Sega Master System, like Mortal Kombat 3 on Sega Master System, which is mind-boggling to me.
I know Sonic games appeared on Sega Master System, but it has the same like engineering as the Game Gear, I believe. So I know like after Sonic the Hedgehog, made its debut on the Mega Drive / Genesis. I mean, I know many of those games were ported to the Master System, shortly thereafter. So I mean,
Dreamcast also had a lot of games released after it was dead.
Yeah, the Dreamcast.
Yep. It had a very short life though.
The Dreamcast. I think it's more popular now than it was back in the day, and I can also think of another console on the same level, but we'll talk about that a little later. But it's always good to see when games are still being produced for consoles that are dead, especially if it's not supported by the manufacturer anymore. It's always good.
I think it's probably important to say about these games was that they were produced but not released at the time anyway. So they're not updating or altering it really. They're just making sure it works well enough.
Kind of the same thing with the Star Fox 2. Just it was done.
I mean, Star Fox 2 was done. They just didn't want to release it.
And I can see why too, because Star Fox 64 came out, and just pretty much it was a reboot from what the original Star Fox was. But not to get off topic there, but yeah, definitely it's good to see that. I mean, it's always good to see that games are being preserved like that, and hey, it's if you're an Atari collector, definitely go for it. I mean, I'm not going to stop you from making your money or not making your not adding this game to your collection here or there.
In the days of chip shortages, why not build games for consoles you've already got?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of great games out there.
Can't get a PS5, get an Atari.
Basically the same thing.
Basically the same thing.
Pretty much.
It's only got one button. How many buttons do you need?
Yeah.
With one button and a
people are getting
joystick.
so greedy with their buttons nowadays. Like, come on.
Don't rumble.
Like
Who
my
needs rumble?
Yeah.
One button. Keep it simple.
Yeah, one button. Yeah, definitely. All right. So we saw the launch of a network that has been gone for almost a decade, and I wanted to deep dive into this a little bit more because I know a couple episodes back when it was just me and Finest, we were talking about this, but G4 is back, and I know Finest is very excited that it is back. I'm excited too. It's definitely good to see some more competition out there for IGN and GameSpot and all that stuff. So definitely, I saw some of the whole streaming that they did, and it looks like it's going to be a unique network. You got some of the original hosts coming back. What's his name? The host of X Play. What's his?
Adam Sessler.
Yeah, Adam Sessler.
It looks like he hasn't aged a day.
Yeah, and then Kevin. I can never say his last name. He's Kevin Pereira. He's going to be
Kevin Pereira. Yeah.
He's
was the Attack of the Show guy.
Attack of the Show. Yeah. So those original hosts are back on the network, and with some new cast of characters as well. Gina Darling, I think she'll be on Attack of the Show, and you also got WWE superstar Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed. He's a part of the whole network, and you got a good variety of shows. Dungeons and Dragons. I was watching that a little earlier, and it's available to watch on pretty much just if you don't have to have cable or direct TV, you can watch it on YouTube. They have a Twitch channel. There's several different ways to watch it if you want to get into watching G4. Have you guys checked out G4 since it's been back this week?
I watched a bit of the
I didn't even
intro.
know.
I tried watching like the intro of the night, and I'm like, I just want content. I wasn't interested in watching the actual like, oh, we're having a party, we're back thing. I thought they were gonna go right into Attack of the Show, and they did not. But I keep forgetting that it's there. I need to remind myself that it's there.
Yeah, but I had a look at some of the Twitch stuff, just jumping in, and it looked like they were just streaming GTA Definitive Edition for a little bit, for like 3 or 4 hours.
They're only on for certain hours, like the actual original shows. Otherwise, I think they're just hosting other people or just playing games on Twitch. But like their actual original shows are on at certain times.
I see.
But that's the kind of show they're trying to build, right? It's not just like it's the gaming channel where there's always stuff going on around everything.
Right. If you want gaming, you just leave it on.
Yeah. I mean, gaming. I mean, like I said, X Plays, it's a good gaming review channel. Adam Sessler, they were doing a review of what was it, Halo Infinite, and the reviews are there if you definitely want to see a review of a game. I'm not sure if they'll have time to review all games, but they'll definitely touch on them. And if it is going to be on a network, hopefully we don't see them bring back like reruns of Cops and Cheaters, which wasn't very well received by its original audience. I mean,
they have reruns of what's that? The Castle, Takeshi's Castle.
Oh,
will still air on the broadcast TV version.
Oh,
I don't think on the Twitch version or the YouTube version.
Okay, so they still got that, but just as long as they keep Cops and Cheaters off the network, I think they're good. I mean, that's the one of the complaints I had about the channel back in the day. Like, just if you need to just show reruns of like old shows, just look for like something more video game related, like Sonic or
Well, at the time, Twitch wasn't a thing. Like there
Yeah,
really weren't
yeah,
streamers. Like now, sure,
yeah,
you can just throw a streamer out there. Who it doesn't really matter.
yeah. So I
I
mean,
think
I
the
think
network that owned them at the time was trying to push their own agenda a little bit as well. Like they wanted to look like they were the bad boys of television by having a
It was like
gaming channel.
the man with a real manly channel with the
Yeah,
cops and cheater whatever it was. This garbage. It was just
style stuff. It's like buying a Maxim magazine and getting
right.
all the man
cheaters
stuff.
could be a little funny sometimes. I've never been a fan of cops. Like,
You don't need like 8 hours of cops in a row. Like
okay,
really?
like I can understand like if you're looking to put something on like midnight, okay, show cops for like an hour, like then just move on to like some paid advertising or something like that. They could have did it better. They didn't need to show it for like 6 hours straight. But like you said, Mark, yeah, like streaming's more common now. People want to watch people play video games, so they should have all their non like live show stuff, nailed out of the park if they play it right. I'm just saying, back in the day, they could have did a little better too. Like they could have did reruns of like the Sonic cartoon or even the Mario Brothers Super Show. I mean,
Yeah,
I know
it's all
they're
about paying for the rights,
yeah. I mean, I know it's old, but it has more to do with video games than cops and cheaters. That's what I'm saying.
Just
They
a
might
constant marathon of the original Mario Brothers movie. That would be better.
24/7. Yeah.
I think I'd rather watch Cops.
Well, they might get the leverage this time around. They're doing it for their own thing. They're building something big around it. Maybe they'll get the money to be able to buy the rights to show that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, all in all, I mean, I hope the network is here to stay. I don't want to see it go away after a year. I mean, I I thought I was like reading something like I thought it was like too good to be true when I heard that it was coming back. Like, are you for real? This failed network is coming back. So, and then I saw that Thanksgiving special. I guess they did put it out a year ago, but I saw it like a few months ago. But it was actually pretty interesting. Like, they talked about old times, and it seems like they had fun, just a bit mismanaged behind the scenes. That's the kind of drift I got. And then especially on Attack of the Show, it seems like they just never knew what the hell they were going to be doing every day they were going in there. So but yeah, definitely hopefully, we, definitely support them. I'll definitely keep up and with all the other networks too, mainly IGN. I don't really watch GameSpot too much, but so we'll definitely see with that.
I need, for any Australians that are listening or watching, first of all, Cheese TV, amazing, all that great stuff where we got our cartoons in the past. This would kind of be like that. So if you're unsure about diving into G4, I think it's going to be something awesome that you'll probably enjoy. It's very, very good for that gaming audience. I'm trying to pull the Australians into the American culture because I never knew about G4 until I started perusing the internet. So there's going to be people around the planet that now have access to it.
All right, for sure, definitely. All right, so Battlefield. You first-person shooter fans out there, Battlefield has gotten off to a rocky start on its opening weekend. So we had Vanguard, and now Battlefield's out. And then for those of you who have played it, Halo Infinite beta is also out and it's free. But Battlefield is opened up to a pretty rocky start. So seems
Rocky
like
is an understatement.
If you like want to entertain yourself, you go to like the Steam reviews for that game. It is, oh my lord, dude! I'm so glad I did not pre-order this.
Are you sure?
Wasn't there one that said they had reviewed Battlefield 2042 as 20 to 42 frames per second or something?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that. You said in the Discord.
It is. I wasn't really looking that much forward to it, but I'd play it. You hop into a Battlefield here and there, but it's been so negative off the bat that I'm not even going to give it a chance.
Yeah. It seems like Battlefield games of the past have been better than this, and usually I don't really hear anything bad about Battlefield games. But this one, I think this is like the most negative reviews I've ever heard from Battlefield. So I'm Yeah, hands off. I'm not. If I do a first-person shooter this holiday season, it will probably be Call of Duty.
From what it sounds like, it's just not doing anything different, and it's not and ignoring all the bugs that seem to be happening. But it just doesn't sound like it's doing anything for anybody. Sorry, that the older Battlefield games tended to be a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I figured I'd definitely throw that out there with the Battlefield. Any more thoughts on Battlefield before we move on?
None.
I haven't played it, so I really can't give too much other than like the review bombing. Obviously, they had a chance to really beat out because Call of Duty really hasn't got that much hype, and they just they did not do a good job here.
Yeah. I think it's the bottom barrel first-person shooter this holiday season. I'm thinking, yeah, Battlefield 42 will definitely be in third.
Halo's surprise announcement really kind of
Yeah.
kicked the thunder out of it.
Yeah.
Fuck, they had to know, right? They were doing that a week early, not only because of the 20th anniversary, not only because they wanted to premiere the game before the campaign came out, but they knew they were throwing a fox in the hen house.
Yeah. Well, they wanted to do that when Xbox was turning 20. So, speaking of another console that turned 20, and this is the one I was waiting for earlier, a look back on the GameCube. Now, I'll kick this conversation off. Yes, it did turn 20 this week, and I had a GameCube, and I'll say I enjoyed the GameCube. I liked it a lot better than N64. The controller, was a bit weird at first, but people love using it for Super Smash Brothers to this day. I actually have a GameCube controller somewhere in one of my drawers there, but it had some good games. Metroid Prime, Super Smash Brothers, Melee, arguably the second best Smash Brothers game there is. Star Fox Adventures, Luigi's Mansion, Super Mario Sunshine, a game I didn't like too much. And it did have some decent third party support as well.
I have one question. The most important question: what color GameCube did you have?
The color you saw the guy holding.
Did you have a purple one?
Purple.
I had a black one.
Okay.
Whoa.
I think I have a black one now. Yeah, I have a black one now. It's my brother got one recently and he gave it to me. I have a black one, but the original one I had was purple. And yeah, or whatever color that was. Oh yeah, Wario World. That was also another good game.
I don't know why I bought a GameCube. I think it was because my brother wanted it. I really didn't have at that time in my life. I really didn't have too much interest in it, and there really wasn't a great Mario game for it.
No, not at all. Luigi's Mansion was better than Mario Sunshine. I don't care what anyone says.
So I had it, but I didn't really get that much use out of it. I've read it more for Resident Evil 4 and the Beautiful Joe games, like stuff I could only get on GameCube and not Xbox. It wasn't Mario. They had a few. It was more than 60. The 64 had more third-party support.
Yeah. Need for Speed was on there. Time Splitters 2, Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk 4.
Yeah, Tony Hawk 4. Yeah, it was. A lot of people don't know this, but it was more powerful than the PS2. So it could definitely support all the games that the PS2 was playing at the time.
Right. It just had really small discs, so you had to put things on multiple discs.
Yeah, and I also think a lot of people forget it had the Game Boy player, which could play Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games.
I was going to say, you can use the Game Boy Advance as a controller as well, can't you?
Yes, because if you wanted to play Four Swords, you needed to have the game and 4 Game Boy Advances to play it like the proper way.
Yep. And there was I think there was a Final Fantasy Tactics game that used something similar. That's how it came to my attention.
It was Crystal Chronicles.
Yeah, I think it was that one, Crystal Chronicles. We could be wrong, but yeah, but yeah, so I mean, yeah, looking back on
they didn't do no celebration like Xbox did. Why not?
I don't know.
It would have been a perfect chance to.
It would have been because maybe the GameCube Mini or GameCube games coming to the Switch Online or something. I mean, I'll play Mario Baseball again. I mean, they had some good games. I mean, like I said, I think it was a lot better than the N64 as a console overall, in my opinion. I know Some people will probably beat me up for that, but that's another conversation for another day. The way I look at the GameCube now is it's like the Dreamcast. It's a lot more popular now than it was back then.
It was pretty popular.
I don't think this was like it's. I don't think it's a failed console at all. I just think it didn't really make much of itself. Like the Xbox and the Microsoft of things is like we're filling this space.
It didn't
with our
have like a
games.
one game that stood out like you have to have it other than Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
But even then, it was still kind of niche.
Mm-hmm.
But like the highest rated games are Metroid Prime, Resident Evil, Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess, but you could still get that on the Wii. And Wind Waker was a lot of people didn't like the look of it. It didn't really have that like one or two super standout games. It was like, all right, I have to get a GameCube.
Just Smash Brothers. That's the only standout one I can think of. But then all
But
the
still,
other
it's kind of still a niche game. If it was
the controller is a thing too, right?
Right.
They still use it for Smash.
Yeah. The controller's still popular. I mean, there are a lot of knockoff ones too, but I mean, definitely.
I hated that controller. Oh,
it was better than the N64
unusual.
one. It was better than the N64 one.
Anything's better than the N64 controller. So it's not.
That's not
saying
saying much.
I've seen the way people do, like they play Smash competitively and then they show them on the controller and they're doing weird stuff with their fingers to try and get to all the buttons and stuff, right?
Yeah.
They're doing that trick where
looks
in a
painful.
fighting game you hit all 4 buttons with, like, you claw the buttons instead of actually thumbing it.
Hey Logan, did you ever have any experience with the GameCube or anything growing up?
No, that's a little old for me.
I figured I'd ask, definitely, but yeah, definitely. If you know someone who has a GameCube, definitely check it out. It was a pretty good system. Just a small disc, I think, is what really hurt it. And if it played DVDs, maybe it would have sold more units. Because when I look at
Nintendo didn't want to pay the license fee.
Yeah.
Which they would have had to do, and they did the same thing with like the Wii. They really didn't want to pay the license fee, but they felt like they had to.
Yeah.
But later versions of the Wii, they took it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, happy birthday, GameCube! You're 20 years old. I mean, I still got love. I still got love for the console, regardless of what anyone says. So, all right. So we get to our main topic of today's episode, and that is the Game Awards. So that's the big end of the year celebration, the Game Awards. So we're going to talk about the nominees. We're not going to so much do predictions. We'll save that for another time. But, we'll definitely go through some of these nominees here and, talk about them, see if you think they deserve to be there or not. And we'll talk about, just some possible games that could have been left out, or just be real snubs, which I know some of us do have some of that. But first, let's get into the Game of the Year category. So looks like the nominees are Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and then Resident Evil Village. So those are the Game of the Year nominations. So I guess we could start with this. Yeah, you agree with this list, or you think that another game should have been added? What are y'all's thoughts?
To me, Ratchet and Clank feels like the one that's, I don't know what it's doing on here. Yeah, it's a good game, but like it's no different than a lot of the other Ratchet and Clanks that are out there. To me, that's just feels like the weird one on this list.
It's the one that's built for PS5 on this list. That's probably what's pushing it to the top.
I guess, but there's no like one that's Xbox on there really. Maybe Psychonauts 2, I guess.
2?
I guess it's not really pushing the Xbox though.
Yeah, because it's also on. Yeah,
I believe it's on regular Xbox One as well. So I don't know. To me, it's just the one that doesn't fit. I'm looking back and I don't remember do you guys even know who won last year off the top of your head? You probably don't.
I don't remember. But yeah, just
right. So
it was a very Last of Us 2 last year.
Last of Us 2.
Was last year? Okay.
I don't know. I feel like they could have done better. They could have put different games on there, but really, what else? There's nothing really that stands out to me other than the lack of Forza Horizon on there. I just don't think they want to put a racing game in for Game of the Year.
All right. Okay. Since you brought it up, let's talk about it. All right. So, I mean, you brought it up. I mean, I was going to try to save it. Yeah. So let's just talk about it. And we can do that, and then we can go to some of these other categories that you guys want to discuss. But yeah, Forza Horizon 5 was the biggest snub in my opinion. And I agree with you, Madness. What is wrong with a racing game winning Game of the Year?
I don't know. I'm going back and looking. I don't see any sports game ever nominated for a Game of the Year.
Yeah, sports or
and like
racing.
Nothing. No, for not even like a Gran Turismo. Nothing like that.
Or even Mario Kart. But yeah, just
right. It just hasn't been nothing on here in any sense. It's like if it's not like a serious single player game, which they seem to focus on the single player games for the overall Game of the Year. It doesn't really get nominated.
I do agree with you a bit on that. What do you think, Matt, Logan? What are your thoughts there? Do you think they focus too much on single player games or the best games?
Yeah, I feel like most of the games that are nominated are like single player story games. So I mean, it's rough that Forza isn't on there, and I feel like it's more hurtful that it's not on there because sports games haven't like been nominated in the past. But like, I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, from what I've heard, Forza's fun, but I don't know if it deserves Game of the Year. I don't know.
It probably doesn't deserve Game of the Year. It deserves a nomination.
Nomination, yeah. I mean,
I think been nominated.
Yeah.
But look at the list. There's no like multiplayer focused game on this list. It's really all single player story games. And yes, I know Forza was nominated for a bunch of other things, but nobody cares. You know, the big one is Game of the Year.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, we could talk about some of the other categories that was nominated
Before we do, I think we need to point out that game awards like this aren't, Planet Earth. Planet Earth awarding the best game on the planet for the universe. This is a bunch of people with their own opinions, and for the Game Awards, very specifically, in the last little while, they've talked about going out to hundreds of media outlets looking for their nominations. They've been voting and deliberating, or whatever it is they do, and they come to a list like this. Now, in the last 2 years, there have been more games released and more people playing games than in most other times in history. So, and especially in a fully saturated market, it's going to be incredibly difficult to narrow these things down.
Right. I mean, how many people do their own Game of the Year awards? That's the thing. Like, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
This is just the most high profile.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And this isn't going to be, collective agreement. This is going to be, it's not even going to be consensus. It's going to be taking a mean average of an approach. So if you've got 150 people and you get 120 nominations, but 20 or 30 of those outlets picked Deathloop, then it's going to go on the list because that's how many how the votes ended up being weighted. I guarantee you, Among Us appeared in there somewhere. Fortnite appeared in there somewhere if it's not on the list already.
Fortnite keeps getting, I think, best ongoing game.
That along with Destiny 2 and a few others.
Yeah, but there's plenty of games here that you wouldn't expect to even be on this list. I think it's going to be not collective agreement, but enough agreement to get it on the list. And
it's a marketing thing. It's a marketing tool. You slap it on there, you put it on the box, Game of the Year award nominee. And for the casual person, they pick it up and they go, oh, okay.
Yeah. And you go to these award shows, this particular one, not just for the awards themselves, but for exclusive releases and new trailers and
Yeah,
it's been
announcements.
carrying Elden Ring
Right.
for the last 2 to 3 years.
That's the only reason why I'll watch is that I really don't care who wins the awards. I just want to see the new trailers, and they usually have about 4 or 5 first gameplay footage of some games. So here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're pulling both sides. But in saying that, I think there's going to be a lot of common titles here. I think for me, what is it? Scrolling through the list now, I think it's best independent game is the one that I'm most interested in, because that's where a lot of the games that I've loved this year have gone. But we can go through the list in any way that you
All right, so I'll just go from top to bottom. So let's just go through this. Best game direction: Deathloop, It Takes Two, Returnal, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Well, how could the game have best game of the year, but not also be best game direction?
That I don't know.
Weird to me.
That's the thing.
I mean, they're almost all game of the years,
right? Like Returnal, that's not game of the year. Resident Evil Village doesn't get game directions. Like that's why. Why is that even an award?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe because.
All right, best performance, and then these are just a bunch of different characters from games. So
that's basically the voice actors.
The voice actors. So okay, best multiplayer. That's a good category. Back for Blood, Knockout City, It Takes Two, Monster Hunter Rise, New World, Valheim. So we got some nominations there. Best ongoing game.
Like even there, that's really weak.
Yeah, I think they could have did better, a little better there. I mean,
when I think multiplayer, I usually think first-person shooters, and it's just, I don't know. To me, those are that's a pretty weak list of games there.
All right, best ongoing game: Apex Legends, Call of Duty Warzone, Final Fantasy 14, Genshin Impact, Fortnite. Let's see, what's another innovation and accessibility? Far Cry 6, Forza Horizon 5, Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy.
Let me tell you, if Forza doesn't win for innovation and accessibility, then there's something wrong here. The amount of customization you can do in that game is, I've never seen anything like it. You can change the subtitle colors. You can change all the different colors. You can make it so accessible so that literally anybody with any sort of disability can play it.
Yeah.
But it's not just accessibility, it's diversity, right? It's the first game I've seen where you can pick an entirely prosthetic character.
Yes.
Almost.
And the pronouns, you pick your pronouns too, which I've never seen in a game either.
Okay.
You can be indicated by your name or a nickname as well. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that's more comfortable. I was creeped out.
It was kind of creepy when I started it up, and it's like, "Welcome back, Mark."
Thanks for coming.
It remembered my name from 4, and I'm like, "That's a little creepy." But I was like, "Oh, it's probably just pulled the file."
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Yeah, definitely. Games for Impact. Before Your Eyes, Boyfriend Dungeon, Chicory, A Colorful Tale, Life is Strange, True Colors, and then No Longer Home. All right.
I've only heard of one of these games.
Yeah, same here.
I have, and my question to this particular category is what Impact is. Like Impact for Chicory and Life is Strange, and probably Before Your Eyes as well. They're all, good feelings inside, feeling good about everything and life and stuff. But Boyfriend Dungeon, that had a big impact because of some of what happened outside the game, potentially. So
did Celeste win that game? I feel like Celeste deserved it when it came out. It did win when it came out. Yeah, Celeste was really good.
All right. Best independent game. Your categories, Matt. Death's Door, Cannot Bridge of Spirits, Inscription. I need to play that game. And then Loop Hero and 12 Minutes.
12 Minutes does not deserve to even be nominated just because of that
Here
ending
we
of
go.
that game.
All right.
So I need to 12 Minutes is in a category of game which is really important to appreciate. And the thing that people take for granted with this, I've got a problem with it mostly because of Inscription. Sorry, this is a big nerve for me at the moment. I don't have a platform to talk about this, so this podcast is going to be it.
You're good.
Inscription is going to win it.
You think
we know
will win? Okay.
They're going to win it because what the internet media and individual, collectively have said. They have said, this is the most amazing game because it's taken me by surprise. There's a bunch of stuff happening here that I didn't even realize. There's a meta game to it, as well as a meta game, as well as what the game is itself. I'm trying to explain it a little bit without spoiling it because it's a very easy game to spoil. And people have reflected on it and gone, whoa, this is really cool. I can't believe this. But 12 minutes is kind of like that as well. There's game mechanics, and people have also said this collectively too, that there's a bit in inscription that you get to that makes it a little bit harder to play. The game kind of tips on its head a little bit, and you feel like you don't want to play anymore because it's changed too much. 12 minutes was like that too. People got frustrated with the looping aspect to it, getting things wrong and having to do them all over again. And
it didn't bother me that much. The ending bothered me so much. It's such a cop out.
But when you reflect on it as an art piece, you've played the game, you think about it, but you reflect on how they got there, the enigma of the story to begin with, that you had no idea where it was going. Again, deliberately avoiding spoilers for those who want to tackle this list themselves. 12 minutes.
I feel like I should spoil this game. It's that bad. I was so mad. I was so mad when I came in.
Don't do it, Mark.
In that case, collective agreement. Are we spoiling this game right now? You guys happy to? I don't know how we feel about it on this podcast.
I'm not gonna ever play any of these games, so I don't mind.
Right.
Go ahead.
So
go ahead.
Discovering that, spoiler alert, everybody, we are spoiling 12 minutes. Turn off right now, mute, whatever you need to do.
Or you could play it after you know this too. It works.
You could, but I think it breaks the mystique a little bit. I don't think people will be motivated to play it once it is. But do you want to say what the ending is?
It's incest, essentially.
Well, it's a psychological exercise, right?
It kind of, yeah. It's just a cop out of like, a twist ending. Like they had to figure out like a twist ending. They had to figure out how to close the loop, and basically, it's all in his head.
Yes, but deliberately, it's an anticipated scenario due to a doctor giving him hypnosis and participating in his, not delusion, but running out these scenarios in his hypnotic state. But it arrives at those themes, But remember that you've just played a game in which you're murdering yourself, murdering your wife, killing this guy, doing completely amoral, unethical, dastardly things to get to an ultimate conclusion. And then you get to the end, and not only have you discovered that there's an incestuous relationships that you become aware of, but that all of it was completely fake and not real. And you might kind of ask yourself subconsciously, well, what the hell was I doing all that for? Anyway.
For nothing. There was no point. That's what makes me so mad. Like literally any other ending would have been better. I think that's what it was like, I did it all for this, for nothing. It's just disappointing.
It's a big twist. I think I appreciated it for what it was, but only because of a game that I have become very familiar with, and just it's one of my favorite games of all time, which is Assemblance. It has 2 chapters, Assemblance and Assemblance Oversight. It's not a 12 minutes. Kind of is, with a bit of loopy frustration, different things changing as you do the same things over and over again. But it's more of an inscription where what's happening in the game is also including what's happening outside the game as well. It doesn't have as many levels as Inscription, but I remember collectively that first game from media outlets, people were reviewing it, Assemblance, that is, the first one, and they were saying, no, this game is terrible. There's not enough game here, because they played it for an hour. They got to the first 10%, they scratched the surface of it, but they didn't actually have enough time to spend to get in depth with it. It wasn't enrapturing enough for them to dig any further. They got to the end of that essentially the first loop, and they thought, well, that's it. I don't know what else there is there. So, oh well, I'm just going to give it a 2 out of 10 or whatever. But if you dig a little bit further and you've got the ability to, pass what's going on around you in that game, then you do dig further and you find more and more and more things. And that's exactly what Inscription does as well. But the only difference there is that it builds in a game which is essentially, I've discovered, Slay the Spire, which is a great card-based video game. It's excellent, but it's very much that game mechanic. And if you layer a game that's currently been incredibly successful on top of what you're doing with that meta layer, then it's going to pull people in for long enough to be able to get that stuff going. Can you guys hear music as well?
Yes, I hear music.
Yes, I do hear music.
Am I getting played off right now?
I thought it was me at first. I was just rolling on the website. I'm like,
what tab do I have open?
Yeah, I think I might be getting played off. But anyway, suffice to say, Inscription, okay, everybody loves it. There's a reason to love it, but it's... Look, you have to appreciate previous games that have also done it just as good. Like, anyone come at me. Anyone who loved Inscription and didn't like A Semblance, let's have a fucking conversation. And I did drop the F-bomb there, I had to, because
okay,
this has actually made me angry. Because I'm going to shout him out right now, because A Semblance Oversight, brilliant game. Nilo Studios, there's a game coming up for them next year called Binary Smoke, but I'm not sure they're going to revisit A Semblance just because there's not enough people there. So people doing A Semblance, playing it, you loved it, make yourselves known. I'm going to post this around the A Semblance feeds online as well, because I think people need to know.
I have never heard of A Semblance. So...
All right,
yeah,
that's your homework for this week. I'm pretty sure all of you wouldn't have played it. I think I might have brought it up.
It is on Xbox, so I could play it.
A Semblance? Okay.
It's on Switch. It's on Epic Games. It's on everything.
Okay. I'll look into it. If it's on Switch, I could definitely, get into it. All right. Well,
get into it. Open your mind.
A Semblance. Okay.
But Inscription for Indie Game of the Year.
Is it like Undertale kind of? A lot of different endings kind of thing?
No, it's like there's... Have you ever like unwrapped a present in another present in another present?
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, but there's something for you each time you unwrap it. Like you've got a massive box and you open it, and there's a little present there, and you enjoy it, but you see that there's another box to open up, so you go to open that box as well. And then there's something even better and enigmatic in there. Like I had no idea.
Is there something good at the end? Otherwise, it was all I opened up all these boxes for nothing.
I'm going to be honest with you. If your opinion of 12 minutes at the end is I hated myself for knowing this twist, then
yes,
A Semblance, you might get to the end and be like, well, I just wasted 3 hours of my day. But that might just be me presuming things based on 12 minutes. I would urge you to give it a go, and I'd love to hear what you think, to be honest.
All right, for sure.
It's not as dense as 12 minutes. It's not an emotionally charged thing, but there's enough gameplay there that if you're motivated enough to unwrap everything that's going on and you can read the subtext, there is definitely something there for you.
Sounds good.
A Semblance for Game of the Year, whatever year it came out, 2016.
20.
All right.
The original one
5 years ago.
2016.
2016.
It was 2016.
Yeah, 2016. Yeah. All right. I'll definitely give it a go. I'll want to check it out this week. All right. So let's get into some of these other categories. Best action game: Back 4 Blood, Chivalry 2, Deathloop, Far Cry 6. That got a nomination. Returnal. Best action / adventure game: Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Metroid Dread, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Resident Evil Village, and Psychonauts 2.
Resident Evil is getting a lot of nominations around here. Did any of you play Resident Evil?
No, I did not.
Because I saw it,
It really didn't look great to me.
And it was also a decent amount of money too.
Yeah, it didn't look. It wasn't on my pickup list. It didn't look nothing in that game really stood out to me.
If there was
Yeah.
a category for best kind of silly, I think it would have taken it. That's the impression I got from watching people play that game. But
let's see. Best role-playing game. Cyberpunk 2077. You say it's a good game, Matt. Should it be okay?
I reckon it should be on this list.
I bought it last year, and I've been waiting for the friggin' Series X version that they keep pushing back.
No way.
Oh damn! So you haven't played it?
I haven't played it. It's still sitting in the wrapper.
Won't be till next year, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna wait for the I was gonna wait for the the next gen upgrade. Also, I wasn't gonna get it on PS4, especially after the bugs that.
Dude, it's like horrible on PS4. Have you seen the videos of that?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
If you want the best experience of Cyberpunk, play it on PC.
That's what I've heard.
You just got a brand new RTX 3000 card, chuck it in there, get it on GOG for $20 or something, Black Friday.
I've got a laptop
I'll look at it.
that can barely run Hearthstone. Okay.
Yeah,
I got a new computer, so I probably my rig probably could take it, but we'll see.
Definitely could. I've got a GTX 1660 Ti, and that played it back when Cyberpunk came out on an old i5.
Oh wow, on an old i5. Oh wow. All right. So Cyberpunk 2077, Monster Hunter Rise, Scarlet Nexus, Shin Megami Tensei 5. Tales of Arise. Where's the link when you need her? Because I know she'd be talking about Monster Hunter Rise or Scarlet Nexus right about now.
Yeah, she would be able to give us the best opinion. But to me, Cyberpunk feels more like action adventure than role playing.
True, but it's got all those RPG aspects, though.
Yeah, or for what I've seen, I feel like it's a decent amount of role play. Like this.
Yeah.
But Scarlet Nexus, I think. It doesn't have as many RPG elements as most of the others would, but it's a very good story, and I highly recommend you give it a go.
Shin Megami Tensei probably wins anyway.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably gonna win. All right, most anticipated game, Elden Ring. I think that will win. God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Starfield, the most anticipated game.
You think Elden Ring wins? Really?
I think there's a big enough following behind it. Either that or God of War.
Yeah, I think those two groups could fight each other, and it'd be a pretty even match.
Zelda, I think could bring the heat also, but Horizon Forbidden West.
This feels like they can submit a game as question mark and get it nominated and win an award. Like, is it because they don't have a name yet? But they can say that it's in development?
Maybe, but like this Suicide Squad to me feels like it should be on that list. I'm hyped for Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad looks good. Yeah,
especially in the wake of the film.
Oh yeah, for sure. Best fighting game: Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles, Guilty Gear Strive, Melty Bloody Type Lumina, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. No, that's not gonna win. And then Virtual Fighter.
It's like 5, they didn't have 5 Ultimate games to put on here.
That's awful. Oh.
Yeah, I can tell you what's not gonna win.
Is Demon Slayer? Demon Slayer is not a fighting game, though, is it? Wouldn't it be classed as an action adventure? I've seen a little bit of it. It seems to be third person.
Finance in the background is saying it is a fighting game. So
okay,
I've never heard of half of these.
Just like Urban Champions is a fighting game. Yeah, it is a fighting game.
I've not really heard of
Virtua
these.
Fighter 5 Ultimate. How many years has it been since Virtua Fighter 5 came out?
Well, it would have to be this year, right?
Right, but like the original Virtua Fighter 5 came out 2005. So what's just updated and enhanced remake? Does that really get fighting game of the year? Come on.
Okay, well, from the list, it seems like not a lot of fighting games came out because
it seems like they had to get something on there. So maybe I guess
being at home, getting that net code just right, and not having an Evo to do that stuff at.
Yeah, I think MultiVersus needs to come out already. But all right, best family game: It Takes Two, Mario Party Superstars, the new Pokemon Snap, Super Mario 3D World, and Bowser's Fury,
I
WarioWare Get It Together.
Best Nintendo Switch game. Jeez.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
This category is best Nintendo game.
Also, It Takes Two is not a family game.
I don't know why it's in that
Yeah,
category.
this is
Not a family game.
this is what I thought we would pick out of the Game of the Year lineup too, because like I wanted to pick that up. It's on Game Pass at the moment, but I can't play it unless I play it co-op with another
You
person.
need to have somebody to play with. Yeah.
Yeah, so that excludes a large section of the single player audience, especially with us pointing out that there's a lot of single player games on this list. But yeah, you're right. It's as far as I'm aware,
you can play it by yourself,
but you need two controllers, and you kind of do the.
It'll find somebody for you. Like if you play online, like it'll find somebody to play with you.
Okay, tell me this then: is a game about dealing with divorce and separation of relationships? Is there communication attached to that lobby matching scenario? Because
No.
it feels like a game that should be extolling the virtues of strong communication with your partner.
Right, like Overcooked. Yeah. No. I think you can still play with people. Like you can invite people to play with. I guess I don't know. I played it with my wife. She wasn't into it, but it's definitely not a family game.
No, the themes are quite
not a family game.
advanced.
It's about, like you said, it's about divorce. It's not really like bringing families together. Like I get the story, kind of brings it together, but it's not like a family game.
No, not at all. All right, best sim/strategy game: Age of Empires 4, Evil Genius 2, World Domination, Humankind, Inscription, and Microsoft Flight Simulator. And
why did they lump sim and strategy together? That's awful.
Not a lot of games.
Never.
Well, look, I'm surprised you're not saying Inscription made it to that list somehow.
Well, if you look down at the best sports racing game, which is next, it's mostly racing games.
Yeah, well, we'll just go there. I mean, best sports/racing game. Why did they combine these two? I think I've had a conversation with Finance about this before, but why can't they just do sports and then just do maybe they're not enough. I don't know, but
racing is a sport.
Well, they definitely have enough sports games. Okay, between
F1,
baseball, basketball, football, soccer, there's definitely enough.
I guess. All right,
for racing though, there probably just isn't enough.
FIFA 2022, which is always popular. Hot Wheels Unleashed. That's a good game. Yeah. That's a good racing game. Forza Horizon 5 and Riders Republic. Does anyone feel NBA 2K should have made this list? Maybe
people hate the microtransactions.
Okay, so I guess
that's what it is.
What's best microtransaction game?
NBA 2K.
All right. I can't wait to hear what you guys see about these three.
Keep going. All right. Best esports game: Call of Duty, CS:GO, Dota 2, League of Legends, and Valorant.
Is this like to watch or to play?
I guess to watch or play.
It doesn't really like. Where's Overwatch? That's like the big one, right?
Maybe Overwatch. Yeah. Well, what's going on with that company right now?
In a game category full of toxic communities, the most toxic.
Yeah, I don't think
most toxic community.
I don't think Overwatch is going to be winning any awards anytime soon. Unfortunately, which really sucks for the players that play it. But and then the rest of these are just a bunch of esports athletes, esports team, esports coach, esports event.
Esports coach? Really?
I've never heard of any of these guys. So I mean,
unless you guys
don't watch esports at all,
play better. Like
esports is big. I mean, it's in the universities, and then there's a pro league. It's
I get it. I don't know how much can a coach really add, really.
Make sure you're hitting the button not too hard, but just a little soft.
Maybe like strategy. I don't know.
I'd say it's more managing the children. I think.
I guess.
Like go to bed this time. Wake up. This
I don't know
time,
any. Like, don't they have a best personality too?
I mean, I know they have athlete, best Twitch streamer or something, but I mean,
best content creator of the
content creator. Yeah,
Dreams on there. Terrible.
Yeah.
Try.
Well, those are the most of the categories that we care about for the Game Awards. So I guess next episode we'll be doing predictions of who we think will win some of these awards. So if you haven't done so already, go Google the Game Awards. You can go vote. I think you got to
You
sign
can
in to
vote,
vote.
yes.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
can vote for these. So definitely, I encourage everyone who's listening and everyone who's part of this podcast to do that, and hopefully you see the game that you want to see
Matt's gonna get
win.
everybody to vote for Inscription.
I don't think I have to be honest.
Uh-oh.
Every time I watch or am part of a podcast, an Inscription comes up, someone goes, "Someone told me about that," or I might play that, or someone. This
Only
seems
on
pretty
PC.
cool.
I can't play it. I've
And
heard a
then,
lot.
and then
It doesn't require much to run. I'd say your laptop could. Where
No,
Hearthstone,
I have a pretty lousy laptop.
dude, try it. Trust me, it's cheap at the moment. Give it a go.
All right, for sure. And then I think there's one more category that I don't think they haven't announced nominations for it yet. Well, I'm not sure how it's going to work, but it's going to be the player's voice category.
People's choice.
Or people's choice. You know how they do this with the game or the thing that should have won, which will probably be Forza Horizon 5 since it didn't get nominated for Game of the Year. That's my prediction on that.
The biggest Xbox game launch ever.
I'm surprised it's not nominated. People think it's a dockets against Xbox games. It's a dock against sports/racing games, which in my opinion I think it is.
10 million people have played it already. It's a lot of people.
Highest rating game of the year. I mean,
that's the Game Pass of things, right? This is how Microsoft is going to get things across the line. Yeah. Anyway.
You get the base game, but if you ever want to play expansions or any extra stuff, you got to pay for it.
I suppose. All right, so the podcast is almost over, so we're going to go into the release rundown, which isn't very many games, so it is only 2 games actually. So we're going to put a little twist into this, but let me just go over the games. Farming Simulator 22, and that's coming out for just about everything but PC. Well, maybe it can run on PC, but yeah, Farming Simulator 22, and then that's coming out November 22nd, and then November 23rd, Death's Door for PS5, PS4, and Switch.
What is the difference between the farming simulators? How much of an incremental upgrade do they get? Has anybody ever actually played?
You play Dance Dance? You play?
I have played Dance Dance.
It's probably the same as that, I mean,
the mechanic would be the same. Farming hasn't changed. Yeah,
right. Farming hasn't changed. Songs change.
Yeah, look, it's going to be better looking trucks. It's going to be, more accurate dials and stuff when you're doing that first person view. I don't know. Maybe you get bigger fields. I just don't get it.
I really don't get like these weird simulator things.
All right. Well, this week is Black Friday, so I figured I'd put a little twist into the release rundown. Hopefully, you guys had a chance to look at some Black Friday deals. I've been eyeing Guardians of the Galaxy for quite some time now. I know that's going to be going on sale for at least $30. I was going to try to nab that.
That's a big one. That's one of the biggest deals. Far Cry's got a big deal.
Yeah, $40 for Far Cry. Any games out there that that people you think that you've played this year that people should jump on? Like I'm looking at Hot Wheels Unleashed. That's only $30.
I might do it. I'm not sure. I don't know if I would only do it if my kid would play it, and I just don't know if he would. That's the issue. I would do it to play with him.
Out. You don't want to Forza out as well. Like if you jump from Forza into Hot Wheels. Games.
Yeah. Hot Wheels is fun. I mean, I play it from time to time still, and Logan, you've played Hot Wheels Unleashed, and it's good. I mean, if you can get it for $30, I'd recommend getting it for $30. I think it's it's a good game.
Yeah, if you don't enjoy like the car, like grinding for the cars and like feeling the accomplishment once you get like a new one that you wanted, then you're not gonna like it because it is a bare bones racing game. I guess they have the track creator too, but it's
the best chance of for Americans if you have a Switch. This is the best time of year to buy Switch games.
Yeah,
they never go as cheap as they do for Black Friday, and there's a lot of first-party Nintendo games where $40 is about as low as they go.
Yeah, especially current gen, unless you want to wait for the current gen to be old gen and then jump on it then. But like if it's like if you see like Luigi's Mansion 3 for like $40 or any first party Nintendo game for like $40 or even less,
They
jump
have
on it.
the Mario Kart, the home circuit for $60, which is a pretty steep discount. I would get it if I had room to put it.
Sonic Colors Ultimate, $20 from Amazon. Life is Strange, $35 from Amazon. Yeah, Assassin's Creed Valhalla for $20 off of Amazon. Best Buy has some good deals too. Let's see, NFL NBA 2K21 last year's edition, only $20. MLB The Show, $30. You can probably do a little better, but yeah, definitely check out all the deals for Black Friday. You know, there's a lot of deals going on, and then let me scroll up here.
They didn't put it on here. Game Pass Ultimate, a 3-month subscription, $25 from Target. You're not going to get a better price than that.
PlayStation Plus subscription, 12 months for $40. That's a deal to jump on. And then Marvel, let's see, a $50 eShop credit for only $45. And
That's
then,
all right. You can get that anytime at Costco though.
Yeah, and then
sorry, I have to quickly say when I realized what this was. Anyone listening to the audio podcast, jump onto the video version of this podcast while we're talking about Black Friday sales and the farming simulator trailer is going on in the background. Shout out to the producer on the background. Oh god. Anyway,
OVG.
sorry, keep going.
OVG.
The graphics look pretty good, but I don't know. Is that just the trailer?
This is simulator in its truest sense. I'm not sure you'll be able to pick up a sack of grain, throw it over your shoulder, and throw it in a flatbed, but
it's just the trailer.
It's doing things.
There are more virtual farmers than actual farmers in America. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I guess I played the Mud Runner game when they released it for free on Epic Games. I don't know if it's the same. Is it the same publisher that releases all of these
sometimes
simulator type games?
If you look at the cover art and the text seems to be the same font, generally it will be.
That's what I was thinking.
Publisher. Yeah. But anyway, we were going on about Black Friday.
Oh yeah. So if you guys do want to switch, they're having the bundle again with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which I believe is only going to be $300. So that would be
that's the deal to get.
Yeah, that's definitely the deal to jump on if you want a Switch. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. As many copies of that game is sold, I don't think we're going to see a Mario Kart 9 anytime soon. I could be wrong. Hopefully, I'm wrong, but or maybe they'll just update 8 Deluxe, which is what I hope they do. But definitely.
You guys are talking a lot about physical games to buy for cheap, which they tend to go for pretty well.
Yeah.
But as someone in Australia who doesn't get to enjoy the kind of deals that you guys get, I'm going to push the digital of things. I think there's a lot of places that are doing really good digital deals at the moment on games.
Most places have the prices matched the same too.
The other thing to note is that it's not just Black Friday. There's an entire month of stuff. And I don't know if it's the same in the States. It's probably not. But in Australia, we've been seeing Black Friday deals for the last week and a half.
Yeah.
We're not even there yet.
That's all Also Cyber Monday too. So,
they've been trying to get people to not go out for like massive sales. So they've been spreading it out for a while.
Yeah. But this is endemic of more than the pandemic. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, it's been happening for a lot longer than that. I think. I reckon we'll be looking at Black Friday 3 months.
They hype up Black Friday so much, but the busiest shopping day of the year is not Black Friday. It's not even top 3.
It's the day after Christmas, right?
Well, no, in the States, it's the 3 Saturdays before Christmas.
Yeah, those are the top.
Those are the busiest shopping days of the year. As somebody who worked retail for a long time, it is way busier those Saturdays than the day after Thanksgiving.
Anyway.
Anywho.
Definitely look at the storefronts too, because I know the Nintendo eShop is going to definitely have some sales. So if there's a game that you think that just might go on sale that's on your wish list, I would just hold off. Play the PlayStation Store, Microsoft Store. Just look on Black Friday. If not, just hold out till Cyber Monday, and you may even get a better deal than what you're expecting. So, Just
for all the people trying to get a console, good luck to you.
Yeah,
that's where the bloodbath will happen.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So good luck on Black Friday, folks. And then last but not least, what are we playing?
What are we playing?
Well, Madness, I already have an idea of what you're playing. Same thing with you, Matt. Forza Horizon
Still
5.
playing Forza. There's so much to do. I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface. There's a lot to do there in Mexico. I don't feel like it's like something you can hop in and out on. It's nice to just, you want to pick up and play for 30 minutes. You could just do a couple races, drive a couple streets. It's just, you can do as much or as little as you want. It's a very nice casual game, hardcore. It's as hardcore as you want it to be, if you want to get into the technical part of it. But for me, it's just fun to pick up and play every now and then.
The feeling I get from it too is the same that I had with Spider-Man, where I'm happy to web sling around the city to get to where I'm going. I don't mind going for a drive instead of fast traveling to get to where I want to go in Forza.
For the most part, yeah, it's pretty much the same way. I had the same feeling. I don't think I fast traveled at all in Spider-Man, just because it was so fun to swing around.
Web slinging in Spider-Man was great.
So I'm definitely still playing Forza Horizon 5. I don't know how far you've gotten into it, but I don't know, 8 hours or so.
Yeah, I'm probably about that much as well. But I would have been doing a lot of faffing about, like, trying to figure out exactly what the game is, because I definitely had a bit of trouble at the start trying to, like, as you say, that there's so much there to unpack. Right. I was trying to find the thing to focus myself on to direct my experience, but I couldn't find it. So I ended up doing the thing that I invariably do with games like that and just going, fuck it, I'll just drive somewhere and do a thing, and then drive
here's a race, I'll just do this race.
Yeah. Oh, sprints, that's great. And then invariably I see all the sprints that can get done, and they all, kind of daisy chain against each other.
Yeah, they I feel like it unlocks too much stuff too fast, and like it doesn't give you a hard direction at first.
It does. It's like an inverse curve. It just goes, actually, no, that's quadrilateral. Help me out, guys. Anyway, it's like a slow ramp up, and then all of a sudden you do that first adventure card, or the first level that you unlock, and then all of a sudden it just Ubisofts itself.
The map is just like all these things all over the map, and you're like, oh.
That's the fun part of Forza. Just like, what do? You go tackle it. You don't gotta do anything in any particular order. That's all I love my games.
The only thing is like the seasons, which is they change every week. There's different things to do during those. So that's like the big thing. Like if you want to get those rewards, you have to do it then. That's like the only sense of urgency there is.
Yeah.
Speaking of rewards, I'll go right into what else am I playing? I'm also playing Halo multiplayer, and they already changed the rewards and how you get XP and stuff, because so many people have complained like it takes forever to gain XP to get to the next level in the battle pass.
So originally it was very specific challenges, and there was
very
no
specific
XP
challenges.
Right?
You didn't even get XP for completing grounds and completing games, which is almost unheard of. Like awful. every other shooter, you get at least some XP for just playing. At the end of the round, depending on how you did, you'd get more. Obviously, it's very fun. There's I think 10 maps so far. It's Halo. If you played Halo, you know what it is. It feels smooth. It's got that old, you just want to play one more round kind of feel to it. I don't like that they don't have specific playlists yet. If I only really want to do Team Slayer, you can't just do a Team Slayer playlist. It mixes in, if you're doing ranked, all these different ones like Capture the Flag and all the other different kind of game types as well. That's my only gripe about the game right now. It's that I'm not really in the mood all the time to play Capture the Flag. Sometimes I just want to shoot people.
I also say like
great game, well worth the price. Well worth the price.
Oh yeah. I'd also say I wish they had like consistent lobbies. Like you stick with the people that you're playing with, unless you like leave the lobby intentionally, because you have to like. You play the game and then it boots you out, and then you have to queue up for another one. So I wish it was kind of like an queue system. Like, but remember, I mean, it's a good game, especially it's free too.
It's still in beta technically.
Yeah, still in beta, folks.
But yeah, go play it. It's free.
Yeah, I mean, like, come on.
What's better than free? Nothing.
Nothing at all. Logan, what you been playing?
Oh, well, it's been a couple weeks since I was on here, so I've been playing Age of Empires 4, of course. Insanely good game. If you don't have it, you should get it. I don't really have any. Well, I guess my only gripe with the game is the arrows now. Like they changed from Age of Empires 2, and now they like auto attack your guys, which is kind of annoying. So you can't like dodge them. But that's kind of my only thing. It's really fun. A lot of people play, so I don't have to like wait a bunch for like queue times. Although there is no ranked, so like you could go against someone who's really good and lose instantly. But whatever. If you're in it for the multiplayer is really good. I've only done a little bit of the first campaign, so I can't really speak to that. But like the cinematography when it like opens up is really nice. They did like this documentary style kind of stuff. So yeah, super good. You should, if you like RTS games, I'd recommend it.
For sure. Matt, you've also been playing Forza Horizon 5, right? Anything else you've been playing, or just that one?
Yeah, I actually picked up Deathloop for half price on the Humble store, which I would urge anyone who's looking to pick it up to go grab it, because at most other places, at least digitally, it seems to be full price still. And yeah, it's a game that came out to much fanfare. We definitely would have it on Game Pass if it wasn't for the initial deals, but I've had a bit of a hard time trying to tap myself into it. I've only played like what would be considered the initial run into it, like the introduction, but it's not for anyone who's played Dishonored. You would understand what the gameplay feels like, because it's not just a run around shooter. It's not a Call of Duty. It's got a little bit more to it than that, but figuring out exactly how the controls tie in, how to bring in all those elements together into a single thing, it kind of has that overwhelming aspect to it, just like Forza does a little bit, where you kind of, throw you on this island 4 different times of day, 4 different places, and they're like, okay, go and break the loop. And you have enough information to work with there, and you just have to slowly chip away at it. But there's a little bit of an overwhelming aspect to it at the beginning that I kind of have to work at becoming, falling in love with the game, I guess, which I know I invariably will. I did have some issues with the controller as well. I think the aim stick is a little bit unusual. It's got that weird muddy feel where it takes half a second to accelerate to full transition when you're moving the camera. Does that make sense to anybody? Am I explaining it right?
Yeah.
It's like when you move the stick a little bit, it thinks it's giving you a chance to change your mind. It does a little slow one, and then after half a second of full tilt, it goes whoop. So you kind of have to. You can change the settings for that.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe like a dead zone kind of change.
It doesn't seem to be easy to change, though. In fact, it's one of the only games that I would consider moving from controller and using keyboard and mouse instead. But I'll try to avoid that where I can. I'm a bit more of a controller guy. But yeah, Deathloop, it's brilliant. And I picked up Slay the Spire for cheap as well. That was also cheap on Humble. As I mentioned, it's Inscription. It's Ring of Pain that I talked about a little while ago. It's a game that was made a few years ago that has set the stage for card playing games, where you're not deck building, but you get thrown into situations where you have to attack and parry and defend and use these cards to make those actions happen, but it doesn't require a lot of input from you. So we mentioned Hearthstone earlier. It's not a Hearthstone. You're not painstakingly building a deck of 20 cards, 30 cards to go into a run and complete it. You start off with the standard cards every time, and you get more cards as you play, and you get more powers and artifacts, and you slowly build up to a mechanic that you exploit in order to be able to play the game effectively. And I got to tell you, as a really great jump in, jump out game, you could play this for 5 minutes, you could play it for 30, you could play it for 4 hours. It's very accessible, very easy to get tapped into. And if you're a fan of digital card games, it's a really great one to pick up. And if you want to test yourself for the actual gameplay part of Inscription, this would be a good place to start. So I recommend it for anybody.
Nice.
All right, very interesting, very interesting. So I guess I'll tell you what I've been playing, which isn't anything new from last week. Still been playing Metroid Samus Returns on my 3DS whenever I get some time. I like playing games on my 3DS. I still like the handheld side of things. Not just with the Switch, but just playing handheld in general. So Samus Returns, very good game, very remake of the second Metroid game that was on the Game Boy, Metroid 2. I guess when they did a survey or something, when they discussed which Metroid game should they remaster, I guess Metroid 2 had aged the worst, so they decided on this one. And it's a very good game, very similar to Metroid Dread, just in terms of just finding power-ups, trying to figure out things, going from one area to the next. I think I'm stuck on one part right now, but I'll definitely figure it out. But the gameplay is good. It's just like if you're watching there, you you pretty much stun your opponent, your enemies, and you
It
get
looks
all
like your
sorts of power.
standard Metroid fare, right?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm definitely been just trying to play that. I mean, I guess you can kind of say I have a little Metroid fever right now. But if you guys have played Metroid Dread and you have a 3DS laying around, I would definitely recommend picking up Metroid Samus Returns if you wanna, if you can't get enough, if you know what I mean. And then the other game I've been playing was Mario Party Superstars, which is fun game. I still haven't found any online competition yet, but I'll be playing online with some folks that I know pretty soon. But fun board game, good family game. Anyone can play it, even if they're not experienced in video games. It's just a bunch of mischief. Just imagine if alcohol's even brought into it. I think that'd be fun too. But hopefully, like I said before, they add some more boards to it because it's only like 5 boards, but they have a whole ton of mini games. So we'll see about that. Nintendo likes to do updates on these games just like at random times. But so far, so good. Fun game,
Family-friendly game,
family friendly.
but bring alcohol.
Yeah, bring alcohol if you really want to have a good old time. And that's gonna do it for today's show. Oh, actually, before I go, Mark, Logan, if you guys have contributed, thank you for contributing to the Game and Watch playlist on Spotify. I'll drop a link in the show notes. Some of the greatest video game music that we've played across all consoles. From the day to definitely way back in the day. So if you haven't had a chance to check out that playlist, I'll leave a link. I'll drop a link. Definitely, check it out to see what we've been playing for you Spotify users. And thank you for listening. Once again, thank you for supporting the Game & Watch podcast, episode number 64. For Matt, Mark, and Logan, this is Justin, aka Who's All For You Fool, saying so long. Tune in next week for another great episode of the Game & Watch podcast. Thank you.
Bye.